today's lesson is about formulating absolute value word problems. So let's look at some background information before we actually start formulating them. In an absolute value word problem, there are two parts, well actually three parts. There's the variable, and then there's the central value. This could be called the middle, central, or average value, and it's placed inside the absolute value symbols. On the other side of the absolute value equation, we have the tolerance or the range, and it's placed on the other side of the equal sign. So those are the three parts: the variable, the central value, and the range. Now, because these are word problems, when we're reading these word problems, we need to look for keywords that let us know what is the central value and what is the tolerance or the range. So for the central value, it's a little bit harder to determine what that is. You have to really read the context clues. It might tell you it is a value of or has a value of. It's much more clear if it actually tells you an average of or a mean of, or it could say to have a value of, or it might not even say any of these words. You might have to really read the context clues to determine what is that central value. However, with the tolerance or the range, it is much easier to determine what that is based on keywords. With the tolerance or range, you'll see words like plus or minus, varies or vary, the words within, more or less, an error of. So if there's anything that tells you it's within a certain range of values, any of those key words that are similar to that, that'll let you know that is the tolerance or that is the range. Okay, so let's say we have a word problem and we read it and we set it up as the absolute value of x minus the central value equals the range. Well, once you have that, you need to set up two equations after you do that. And the two equations are going to be x minus c equals positive r. Notice there is no more absolute value. It's just the inside, x minus c equals r. Or the other equation you're going to write is x minus c. Also notice no absolute value. It's just the inside, x minus c. And it's going to equal negative r. Okay, and the reason we do that is because the inside, whatever's inside the absolute value, in order for it to equal r, the inside has to also be positive r or it could be negative r. So the inside is either equal to r or it's equal to negative r. So let's actually work out one of these problems. The first word problem says, a machine is used to fill several bags with 16 ounces of sugar. After the bags are filled, another machine weighs them. If the bag weighs 0.3 ounces more or less than the desired weight, the bag is rejected. Write this equation to find the heaviest and lightest bag the machine will approve. At this time, go ahead and pause the video so you can write down the word problem. Okay, so for this word problem, we need to find the central value and we need to find the range. So reading this, we have a central value of 16 ounces of sugar. And if you read carefully, it says that if the bag weighs 0.3 ounces more or less than the desired weight, the bag is rejected. So 0.3 ounces more or less. That more or less lets us know that the range or tolerance is 0.3. Okay, so now let's set this up. Our formula is the absolute value of x minus the central value equals r. So plugging in, we get the absolute value of x minus 16 equals 0.3. And remember, once we have that, we need two equations. One with a positive value and one with a negative value. So we're going to take the inside, x minus 16 equals 0.3. And then we're going to put or, because it's either this answer or it's the other answer. and we're going to say x minus 16 equals negative 0.3. And now we're going to add on both sides right here. The opposite or the inverse of subtracting 16 is adding 16. So we're going to add 16 on both sides. This is going to eliminate. And we get x equals 16.3. And since we're talking about ounces of sugar, we're going to say ounces here. Okay? Now, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to add 16 to both sides here because that is the inverse of subtracting 16. That's going to eliminate. We're going to get x equals 15.7 ounces. Okay? So the question said, write this equation to find the heaviest and lightest bag the machine will approve. Well, this is more than this amount. 16.3 is more than 15.7. So this is the heaviest that the machine will approve. So this must be the lightest. And that is our two solutions. Absolute value is usually going to have two solutions. Okay, so now we're going to look at the second word problem. The second word problem says the average number of seeds in a package of cucumber seed is 25. The number of seeds in the package can vary by 3. What are the maximum and minimum number of seeds that could be in a package? Okay, so we need the central value and we need the range. Reading this, it says the average number of seeds in a package of cucumber seed is 25. So that must be our central value, 25. And if we keep reading, it says the number of seeds in the package can vary by 3. There's the key word vary for range. So the range, oops, my marker's going out. There we go. The range is going to be 3. So our formula once again says the absolute value of x minus the central value equals the range. And then we set up then we substitute, we plug in our values. So we're going to say the absolute value of x minus 25 is equal to 3. Once we have that set up, we need our two equations, one positive, one negative. So we're going to say x minus 25 equals 3, or x minus 25 equals negative 3. Solving for x here, we can just add 25 on both sides. That eliminates. And x equals 28, and we're talking about cucumber seeds here, so we're going to say seeds. On the other equation, we're going to add 25 to both sides. That's going to eliminate, and x equals 22 seeds. And the question says, what are the maximum and minimum number of seeds that could be in the package? So the bigger value is 28, so that must be the maximum. So I'm just going to put max, and this must be the minimum. So I'm just going to put min. And here are our solutions. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson on formulating absolute value word problems. If you were lost at any point and you have any questions, please send me a message on Schoology or you can send me a text. Have a great weekend, everybody.